Hello everybody and welcome back again to a special bonus episode of Assassin's Creed Black Flag, where I'm going to do a lot of Abstergo hacking, and I'm actually recording this within a normal episode, but it didn't really make much sense to spend like an hour of hacking stuff right before the end of the game. So I decided to cut it out of that episode and turn it into a bonus episode, because I'm not sure if I can still do the hacking stuff once I'm done with the game. I mean, I might be able to do it, but in case I'm not, it's better to do it now. Also, I'm sure that while some people apparently really want me to read all of this stuff on camera, I'm sure for other people it's just going to be boring, so it makes sense to put it into a bonus episode. And whoever is really interested in that kind of stuff can watch this episode now. But yeah, I think I'm going to cut out the actual hacking part, because it's just the same 2 or 3 mini games all over again. So I will bring you back whenever I manage to hack one of these computers, and then we will see what we can find here. And I think I do have the computers on my map. Yep, it's quite a few of them. I mean, I have hacked some of them, although I'm not sure if the hacked ones do appear on my map here. So I will just start with whatever computer I will come across, and I will start to do some hacking. Okay, this looks like something that I haven't seen before. It's some kind of note. Olivier, here's the initial presentation I received. It's a little light on facts, but these guys know what they're doing. We'll know more when they arrive on Monday. Let me know if you feel like attending. John. Bloom. Or is it Bloomer? Presented to Abstergo. Why now? Why wait? Why Bloom? As the world's foremost innovator of high-tech, high-performance communications and security technology, Bloom stands poised to reshape the way we think about information security architecture. Specializing in everything from mobile telephony to home computing to digital imaging processes to networked security systems, we take great pride in the fact that we helped create most of the markets we now dominate. And nowhere is our expertise more apparent than our flagship product, CTOS, a groundbreaking proprietary security software operating system. So what is CTOS? Confidential. Privacy is security. Integral. How did we ever do business without it? Accessible. The touch of a button. Available. We are everywhere all the time. Well, that's slightly disconcerting. Stable, it just works. Put simply, CTOS is the most stable and user-friendly software security controller ever devised. Can Abstergo afford to pass up perfection? The CTOS dream, the Bloom promise. 12 cities, 100 major corporations, 1,000 small businesses. For almost a decade, CTOS has served its clients' need with a track record unparalleled in the modern age. How do we do it? Durable ultralight HD cameras, ultra-speed fiber optic networking, proprietary facial recognition software, multiple fail-safe data centers, cloud-compatible intelligence sharing, 24-hour customer support service. In short, we have everything Abstergo needs to protect its unique intellectual property and more. The future is in bloom. We look forward to working with you. Oh, that's interesting. I mean, since the suggestion is coming from John, he may have some different motives here. I am actually more surprised that Abstergo doesn't have like that technology themselves already. I mean, this looks like stuff that Abstergo would specialize in, right? So why do they need outside help for this? I don't know. Interesting though. So, that's one computer down. Let's move on. And again, this doesn't seem familiar to me. Unlock the secrets of our past, powered by Abstergo Industries Inc. The Memoriam S 2000. Computing makes mind reading possible. I mean, this is obviously anonymous. Okay, so these are basically blueprints for the Animus. Animus 1.0. And this is a new version of the Animus, I see. I mean, these pictures look fairly old, so apparently these are like the very first attempts to make an Animus. I mean, look at these old-style computers over here. This is definitely like 70s, 80s maybe? Really old anyway. Okay, nothing to read here, so let's move on.
Our initial reports gave us hope that Enzio Auditore would serve as an ideal candidate for future Abstergo projects. His charisma, sexual magnetism, and wry humor gave him all the qualities of a leading man. However, his corruption by the Assassin Order robbed him of these qualities as he fell deeper and deeper into a spiral of revenge. Enzio was frequently known to articulate a passive acceptance of evil. He was also a man of ugly contradictions, one who preached free thought, yet traveled well beyond his home country to proselytize his corrupted creed, just as he's doing here with this impressionable Chinese girl. Notice, too, that in his gestures and bearing there is still something of the old lecher in him. Enzio's entire personality is built around pure demagoguery, claiming his philosophy is about love when violence and coercion are his primary means of tackling problems. We have therefore come to the conclusion that Enzio Auditore da Firenze would be a risky character to develop.
So they're not going to make Assassin's Creed 2? I think it's funny that they would even consider him to be a potential protagonist of their games, because it's quite obvious that he's an assassin, so why would they even consider him? But okay, that's interesting.
This is on. I don't think I've ever used this phone more than a few times to record anything. Hey, Dad. So, we're all here in New York at the motel. It's Queens, actually, in Astoria, near the NQ. Rebecca's off getting batteries for something. Sean's in his room doing whatever Sean does. And, you're out getting some food. Me? Well, I'm supposed to be getting ready to break into some offices in the financial district. Feels just like prepping for one of your old training drills, actually. 10 years go by, and then you show up, and it's like I was never gone, and we're right back to the ball busting and the conspiracies and the paranoia. Only this time, I believe you. I believe every word. You know, I don't even think you know the half of it. I don't think you know how much I've seen. How much I've learned in just a few weeks. Everything, really. I feel like I've lived 1,000 years, or 10,000 maybe. It's impossible to explain. But when you see that much of the world through the eyes of so many, you can't help but be sad. And to see all these incredible, intelligent people fight the same battles, make the same mistakes over and over again. Because culture and knowledge and history, these things, they aren't passed on through our genes. Every kid on Earth needs to relearn the basics. How to live, how to survive, how to stand up for what's right. So much is lost in the transfer. So much is added every generation. It's a shame. I mean, over and over, everything must be learned again. I met Clay, Dad. Clay Gesmerick, in the Animus. I knew him by his Abstergo handle, Subject 16. My predecessor. And he showed me things. He passed them to me just before he died. Or got deleted or whatever. Everything he'd learned, everything he'd seen. God, how do I talk about this? So, guess you trained him. Huh? After I left, he really looked up to you, and now that I've seen through his eyes, I think I understand why. I'm glad you had him around, even if I wasn't there. The things he showed me. Unbelievable things. And I never... Shit. Alright, I'll back in a second.
Okay, this is another one of Desmond's memos. I think we've seen or heard one of them before. These are actually quite interesting. Okay, what do we got here? An eagle. Well, I suppose this could be Sean. But who took the photo? Oh, is it Desmond? Did Desmond make a selfie when he was like infiltrating some skyscraper? Yeah, I mean, this looks like Desmond's photos from a cell phone or whatever. And a nice group photo. And a kitty. Well, this is interesting and kind of sad because obviously he is dead now. I'm guessing they probably pulled them from his phone when they found him. And it looks like he's using some interesting filters. I wonder if he has an Instagram or something. Okay, what do we got here? Crypto history locations. Oh well, that's quite a lot to read. Alea ghost lights. It is the opinion of this researcher that inadequate attention has been paid to Southeast Asia, and in particular the Himalayas. Our research into first civilization peoples and the subtle fingerprints they have left throughout the world would benefit greatly from further investigation into this region. For example, we may find a prime example in the form of the Alea ghost lights, often reported by fishermen. The lights appear over marshes and possess the power to distract, waylay, and even compel victims to drowning, but have also proven useful as navigational aids. Gas seems too facile an explanation. Has genetic memory research yielded evidence of anything similar yet? Ghosts or gas or something else in the Himalayas, they are said to be the souls of deceased fishermen. We really don't take fishermen seriously enough, do we? How many times has a simple fisherman village yielded significant information, if not treasure? I don't know, how many times did it? Bermuda Triangle. What must surely be the most intently studied region whose very existence is routinely denied by official sources. The Devil's Triangle has been held responsible for countless vanished vessels, aircraft and ship alike, since the earliest days of sail. The region's technomnivorous, that's an interesting word, tendencies have been attributed to many magnetic pull of the lost. This doesn't seem to be written correctly. Has been attributed by many, probably, to the magnetic pull of the lost continent of Atlantis, to UFOs, and even to unnamed mysterious forces. While the area still holds much interest and we firmly believe in the power of science over superstition, we have been unlucky in researching this area and can only claim to have contributed 2 small aircrafts, a ship, and several $100,000 of research equipment to the hungry maw of its continued mystery. For the time being, it may be safer to pursue greater knowledge of the region through genetic memory research via the Animus program. I mean, we were not that far away from the Bermuda Triangle in this game, so we could have gone there. Chichen Itza, one of the most popular tourist attractions in Mexico today, Chichen Itza was once one of the largest cities of pre-Columbian Maya civilization. Boasting a mix of architectural styles from across the empire, it is also known to include contributions from members of the first civilization, believed to have fought on the front lines against the human rebellion. In particular, the technologically advanced system of caves, tunnels, and puzzles that runs underground between the Castillo Temple and the Cenote Sagrado are rich with first civilization artifacts. Excavated in the 18th century in a controversial dig ordered by Madeleine Desailles, these range from prophecy discs to rings and shards. Voluminous in quantity, they are minor but culturally significant artifacts which, as a collection, provide us with the best picture we have of life on Earth in the months preceding the Toba catastrophe. The site is currently under federal protection, but we are close to reaching an agreement with the Mexican government. I mean, the Toba catastrophe was a volcanic eruption. I wonder if in this version of history it's actually the solar flare that destroyed most of humanity and the first civilization in addition to that. I don't know. Easter Island, located at the southeastern point of the Polynesian Triangle, Big Rapa is home to some 887 Moai statues created by the Rapa Nui people, one of the most isolated inhabited islands, a territory of Chile protected as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It has proven difficult to study closely in this century. Some records are available from the 18th century when the Rapa Nui suffered from disease communicated by European sailors. 19th and 20th century records indicate slave raids, famine, war, and deforestation. Despite this rich and perhaps tragic history, it is the Moai statues that are most heavily protected. Carved from the stone of an extinct volcano, it is not known how they were transported for installation. This mystery fascinates tourists, but if we could gain access to conduct a private archaeological excavation of the island, it is the petroglyphs and networks of caves established by an even earlier civilization that we believe would yield the most productive results. Lake Vostok. Working with our Russian partners, we have secured an agreement to commence research into the subterranean lake that rests deep beneath Vostok Station, in the accurately, if poetically, named Pole of Cold, on the East Antarctic ice sheet. Sitting approximately 3,500 meters above sea level, this freshwater lake rests 4,000 meters beneath the surface. A core ice sample was extracted in 2012, and we will soon begin research that should provide a paleoclimatic record going back some 400,000 years. Isolated fossil water reserve samples may prove even older. Only time and science will tell what genetic marvels these magnificent samples will reveal, if not a new window into first civilization life itself. Okay, interesting. I didn't know about this one. I have heard of all the other places before.
Our initial research into the life of Ratana Gaydon focused on a period spanning his late teens to his early 30s, but our researchers came away unimpressed by his calm and stoic demeanor, with occasional flashes of extreme anger. This was not the sort of leading man we felt comfortable endorsing. We decided, therefore, to delve into his early childhood, with the hope that scenes of pre-colonial America might hold some appeal. As you can see here, there is a certain naive charm and innocence to this young boy. Unfortunately, our researchers found this young man's story deeply problematic as well. For one, the omnipresence of the Mohawk culture lacks the balance necessary to tell the true story of America. And secondly, the Mohawk language would certainly be an issue for most of our audience. We therefore feel that although Ratana Tankon's early life would be of some interest to our more educated viewers, it's unlikely that his story would appeal on a broader scale, being too foreign, as it were, to normal audiences. Our team recommends we pass on this property.
Again, interesting reason why they didn't make a game with Connor. But again, I wonder why they even considered him in the first place, you know, him being an assassin. But okay, well, interesting.
course, I guess it's just a few seconds for you. A leap down the playlist. Anyway, I was talking about Clay. Kasmeric, subject 16. So, when I fell into a coma back in Italy and woke up in the Animus Black Room, it was, so calming. It felt like I had woken up into a dream. Haze. A dream where none of this mess had ever happened. Felt like I should just be getting ready for another day of pouring drinks at bad weather and another day of complaining about being between girlfriends and wondering what the hell to do with myself. But when I saw Clay just sitting there, it started to come back, piece by piece. And when he told me about Lucy, it hurt. Realizing that I killed her without thinking or feeling anything. Not at the time, anyway. Well, then things just kept piling on. There were more memories of Ezio and Altair and the first civilization. And then, right before he vanished, Clay passed on his memories to me. He showed me everything he had seen and lived through, and it was brief, but overwhelming. Not really sure how to explain. He saw glimpses of Adam and Eve and their escape from slavery. He saw the beginning and the end of the war between the first Civ and humans. He saw Minerva, Juno, and Tinia trying to work out their calculations. At least that's what they called them. They had these tools, these powerful machines that could predict possible futures. Not what was going to happen, but what could happen. Probabilities. And, well, they spent a lot of energy trying to figure out what was the most likely scenario for the future. Theirs and ours. And in the end, I guess they figured I was their most likely candidate. Some guy named Desmond living at the beginning of the 21st century of the Common Era. But which Desmond was the right one? Because, you see, probability is a weird thing. It can branch out in so many ways. Which version of me did they need? Was it the Desmond who got married early and had a son? One who stayed single in New York? Or was it the Desmond who moved to San Francisco to be a waiter? Maybe it was the Desmond who worked at an auto body shop in Chicago, or maybe it was the me who never ran away from his parents in the first place. First Civ had countless variations to choose from, but in the end, the lucky one was me. I'm the Desmond their best calculations spit out. I'm the Desmond they left their messages for, and I guess I have to live with that honor. What an honor. Pretty tired. There'll be more later. Ciao.
Okay, so are we entertaining some kind of multiverse theory here? But yeah, these memos just make me sad. I mean, I didn't really mind Desmond getting killed off at the end of the previous game, but now I feel kinda sad about it, actually. So, what do we got here? How many ancestors do you have? How many of their secrets are locked away in your genes? And how many of their stories are you willing to share with the rest of us? Welcome to the fascinating world of genetic memory retrieval. We here at Abstergo Entertainment are now poised at the precipice of this exciting new frontier. Technology and science that will change the way we view the past and live the future. In the coming year, we'll be opening studios all across the world dedicated to a single purpose: collecting and archiving the stories locked away in human DNA. And we need your help. We're looking for courageous men and women to donate their genetic materials to our historical research teams and help us make rehistory. Donate today. So join us, Abstergo Entertainment, where the past is our playground. I mean, I have to admit, it would be really cool to have that kind of technology and to be able to just relive the past like that. I totally would be up for that. I would be interested in doing this and, go into Anonymous myself and look at some of my ancestors' memories. That would be really awesome.
Our researchers looked into the life of Altair Ibn Lahad, hoping to find a biography that might serve as a positive role model for Abstergo's global outreach programs. Unfortunately, this renegade assassin proved to be no such thing. In much of his footage, we see a man gleefully flouting some of his culture's most entrenched taboos with an arrogance that borders on messianic.
Altair, no! This is not our way! To burn a man's body is forbidden!
Many of our researchers felt that the arguments articulated by Altair's rival, a man known as Abbas, were clearer and more cogent than any we heard from Altair. I've recently put in a request that more effort be dedicated to locating one of Abbas's descendants, if any exist. It's clear to us that Altair's transgressions were the primary motivation behind the ultimate dissolution of his despicable order by the middle of the 13th century. We therefore strongly recommend a pass on this property, in favor of a more agreeable and inspiring figure from this era.
Well, first of all, I'm pretty sure you totally butchered his name. And secondly, I'm still not sure why you are looking into assassins in the first place. I mean, it's quite obvious that you wouldn't agree with their lifestyle and philosophy, right? So why not just look for some Templars in the first place? Okay, what do we got here? Subject 17, Phase 1 report. Okay, so it's about Desmond. This surveillance video, possibly captured by Erudito or another group, is labeled New York, USA, 2012, September the 1st. The accompanying chat transcript was labeled Kidnapped, Data Transcript Level 3. Can someone ask Chase to make sure his men use more professional language going forward? Yeah, that's not very subtle. Outgoing transmission, caller ID private, interference, yes sir, pause, we have him. Reply scrambled, yes, shoving him in the van as we speak sir. Target will be delivered on schedule, transmission ends. Surveillance video labeled Brooklyn, same day. The poster claimed Abstergo agents have captured an unknown Caucasian male. Victim is in his mid-20s, approximately 6-inch tall, and 190 pounds. Destination unknown. Okay, that's quite obviously Desmond. This one is labeled Ciampino, Italy. The poster identified this only as unmarked hangar, but then went on to say Abstergo agents arriving at destination. Company-owned jet brought to hangar after landing. Victim identified as Desmond Miles. I don't think this has spread too far yet. Location has already been scrubbed, so I think we can dismiss this as the ravings of a fanatic. Preliminary analysis. A leaked medical file. We're looking into it. No menstrual disorders for subject 17, though. That must have been a relief for the public to read. Patient has no active complaints, no acute distress, no prior cardiac history. Blood pressure normal. Primary blood analysis, no significant traces of chemicals that would lead to neurological disorder. No indication that patient would be prone to neurosis. Unlike previous subjects, patient is psychologically stable. You are clear to proceed. Signed by Damayan Saravakos. Missing person poster. Friends of Subject 17 distributed these all over New York. Have you seen this man? Desmond Miles. Last seen September the 1st near Washington Square Park, wearing white hoodie and dark jeans. Yeah, he's always wearing that apparently. Okay, so this is basically about the kidnapping of Desmond. I understand. Okay, who do we got here? I don't think I remember her. One of history's most overlooked leaders, Madame de Lisle, freed hundreds of slaves and brought them to sanctuary in a tropical haven whose construction she oversaw personally. Brutally cut down at the peak of her career by Eveline de Grandpré, the orphan she rescued from a broken home, Madeleine served as Master Templar in the southern colonies from 1764 to 1777. Oh, so I guess she's from Liberation. That's why I don't remember her. Because I have not played that game.
Be responsible for other people's incompetence.
Okay, apparently I can hack the security camera here. Well, let's see. What can I observe via this camera? I mean, this might have been interesting at some earlier point in this game, because this looks like it's the office of Olivier. I think that's his name. I don't know, let's see.
Yeah. He was killed. Shot in the chest multiple times. No, that shouldn't be a problem. We collected more than enough data. We'll know soon enough. All right, I can send you the results as soon as possible. Okay. Any word on Olivier? Damn it. God, I'm worried sick. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Letitia. Bye.
Yeah, right. Olivier has disappeared somehow, and we still don't really know what happened there, right? Ah, okay. But I think there were more cameras I could access, so let's have a look at this again. So, what about this one?
Hey, thanks for sharing the white whale data with me. I was able to track it down myself. No problem, man. It's amazing, right? Yeah, I tracked it down as soon as I saw your message. Followed it for a while. Couldn't catch it, though.
Yeah, right, you can like share some discovery data with friends, but I don't have any friends, so I can't actually do that.
That's insane.
What's with all these security notices I'm seeing lately?
Just a standard message we use on occasion. Nothing to worry about. We've just had some issues around the office lately.
Like server security issues? Because these notices seem pretty severe. Like draconian, actually.
No, it's nothing to worry about, really. Walk with me and I'll explain.
Well, issues is a bit of an understatement, huh?
We really should.
I remember the first time.
Pierre handed in his notice this morning. This new security measure is freaking people out.
They won't let him go. It's part of our contract. Having ultra-high security clearance means you have to go through a whole debriefing process. It takes months.
Really? I had no idea.
Read the fine print, man. Working for Abstergo has its benefits, but there's some drawbacks, too. Big ones.
Well, that's a bit of an understatement too. There are most certainly drawbacks. Anyway, I think I'm done hacking all the computers on this floor, so I will head to the elevator and see if I can find more computers to hack. Well, I do remember this guy. Yeah, this is someone I definitely know. Suave, debonair and clever, Haytham Kenway was a hero for a generation of men desperate for a decisive and charismatic leader. Slain by the ungrateful son who could not appreciate the wisdom of his pragmatic, race-blind approach to politics and personal life, Kenway's tenure as Grand Master of the colonial right ended abruptly in 1781. Yeah, that is one that I definitely do remember. So this is commission number 4. And I mean, that should be all of them, unless there is one for Revelations. Because we had Rodrigo Borgia, we had Robert de Sable, we had the person from Liberation, and the one from Assassin's Creed 3. Alright. Alright, we got another security camera here. Let's have a look.
Glad that's over. I hate it when they escalate the security. It makes me jumpy.
Did they put anyone in the bunker this time?
Just for a few days, I think. Sucks, but I suppose it's necessary. We deal with some really sensitive data.
Classified shit, yeah. I don't know how I feel about it, but it's in our contract, so...
And they pay out bonuses, too. Inconvenience pay, they call it.
Really? That's actually kind of nice.
Okay, apparently putting people into cells happens every now and then in this company, but at least you get a bonus for it, so that's gotta be worth something, right?
So, this will be a short one, Dad. Something to remember me by if things go south. If I don't make it out of the temple today. I've tried to be optimistic about all this, but I just can't. I think spending all this time in Connor's memories has made me anxious. I mean, his story is so painful in so many ways. Still, he never lost hope. Even when his faith in others eroded. I can only believe that what we are doing is the right thing, and that I can stop this disaster. I know this. I mean, the technology is there, waiting for us to use it. I'm the final piece of the puzzle. Something in my genes, or my memories. Some final piece of code to switch the whole thing on. That's why I'm here. That's why they brought me here. Only, I don't know what I'll have to give up in return. My sanity, my life, it's impossible to say. I do know this. Our battle with the Templars will not be over. But whatever's inside that temple is not an ending. It's just another chapter in this endless story. And it'll be your job, and Mom's, and Sean's, and Rebecca's, to keep turning the pages. You know, I keep thinking about something Orson Welles once said. Something like, if you want a happy ending, it all depends on where you stop telling your story. So maybe that's the answer. Maybe that's how people keep marching forward. If something goes wrong in there, Dad, something happens to me. When you tell my story years from now, please tell them the one about how I lost my way, and then I found it again. Just in time to save the world. And just end it there. That'll keep everyone smiling. Goodbye, Dad. Say hello to Mom. Tell her I love her, okay? Tell her I love you both. I love you both.
Yeah, this is sad. And you know what's even sadder about it? His father probably never got these memos, right? If he, recorded them on his phone or whatever, then the Templars just got the phone when they recovered his body, and Father Miles never actually got to hear any of this, probably. That's depressing. So, we got some kind of chat log here. Chat archive. Everybody's working on the weekend. Olivier, I need your guys to get me everything on the observatory by the end of Friday at the latest. Can you do it? Mel, no, are you crazy? We don't even know where it is yet. And Friday's a holiday. Olivier, a holiday, really? Do your people realize that working here is a privilege? If they care about their jobs, they'll come in and it will be an honor. And no, I'm not crazy. I'm getting a lot of heat from Letitia. If we don't get it done, she'll take it out on devils and all our work will be lost. Ugh, does she even know how anything works here? She has her own pressures. I realize that, but we're already working overtime. And when are we going to discuss how the plot of Devils has to change to accommodate this observatory business? How am I going to sell this? You're not going to, it's too sensitive. So we're just collecting the memories for no reason? Not for no reason, Letitia will use them. This is ridiculous. You want us to devote our lives to finding information we're not allowed to develop or understand or use in any way. It won't help sales and my people will never see their work rewarded in public. How am I supposed to motivate them? I don't know. Get them breakfast. Pain au chocolat, coffee. Pretend to sneak in some coffee liquor. A little beer with lunch. Feed them. They'll forgive you. Again, they're not going to keep falling for this. Yes, they will. Bread and circuses. Look it up. It's a thing. Come on, be serious. I am being serious. Remember, none of this comes from me. Letitia needs what she needs. If you want the project to continue, we have to keep her happy. The observatory doesn't have anything to do with pirates anyway. It would only complicate things. Take the focus off the action. But it's fascinating. I realize it's more mature and complex. I can't believe I'm the one arguing this, but we are crazy not to use it. Imagine we could be selling to pirate fans and conspiracy theorists all at the same time. The potential for market growth is huge. We cannot use it, so please stop asking. This is insane. As you already know, Melanie, this company is a subsidiary of Abstergo Industries, and Abstergo Industries has a different culture. They are hierarchical and rule-driven. We may not always like it, but if we want to advance in this company, we have to be careful. You're protecting her. I'm protecting you. I know we have our arguments from time to time, but I know you care deeply about our work, and I don't want you to get yourself ejected from the conversation. We need you. Do you understand? Yeah, I get it. Pick my battles. It's common sense. I don't know why this one thing is bothering me so much right now. I'm just tired. So I don't need to find someone else to help me. No, we'll get it done, somehow. I will personally bring the coffee liquor for breakfast. Lol, thanks. I'll find some way to get them excited about it in the meantime. If it makes you feel better, I can tell you a secret. What? If you are successful with the observatory, Abstergo may develop a Las Vegas attraction to accompany the release of Devils. What? They're looking into a partnership with those aquatic circus people like you like. Imagine celebrating with the whole team at a live-action gladiator show. Assassins versus Templars versus pirates versus sharks. War, I'm in awe. How do you come up with stuff like this? Oh, I have all kinds of little things saved in files here and there. I always think I'll get around to doing something with them in a quiet moment. But there are never quiet moments. Oh well, you retire someday. Not if I'm lucky. Me neither. Okay, so it seems that at least some of the people, like Mel, don't know about the whole, Abstergo being run by Templar business. Not sure about Olivier, he may or may not know, but I'm guessing Letitia is like the first person who's really in the know and she wants all that observatory info just, for the higher ups and not in the actual game. That makes sense. Alright, I'm done. I finally finished hacking all of the computers here at Abstergo Entertainment, and it took quite a bit of time, a lot longer than I expected. I have been recording for, 2.5 hours, a bit over 2.5 hours now, and that's just the actual hacking and not the episode that I recorded before this that I still need to finish because now I need to go back into the Animus. But since it is so long, I will have to edit this material a little bit. Even for a bonus episode, this is just too long, so I need to cut out some of this stuff to make this episode at least somewhat watchable. Plus, there's a lot of like really long audio files that don't really leave much room for commentary, so I will probably cut them out of this episode and just pick the more interesting pieces of information that I found on these servers. But yeah, I guess this concludes this little bonus episode. This will go up after I finish the actual game, and I will probably make another verdict video, a short one, as I always do, which should upload in 2 days, I suppose. And I always take 1 day off in between games, as you know. And then the next game that will fill this slot is actually going to be The Walking Dead. I have played the first 2 seasons, so I will continue with the series and play season 3 finally. And once I'm done with that, we will go back to Assassin's Creed. And I suppose the next game in line would be Assassin's Creed Rogue. So you can look forward to that. I mean, The Walking Dead is not a very long game. I don't think it's going to be more than 3 weeks maybe until I'm done with that game. So you can expect Assassin's Creed to return within a month at least. But yeah, there's still going to be a verdict video in 2 days, so I hope you will have a look at that as well. But for now, I will end this episode and say goodbye and see you again next time.